Hello, so this is my top 15 players, top 15 SSBM players in the Philippines video. I did a top 10 SSBM players in the Philippines video, I think 2 years ago, but a lot has changed since then, and I just wanted to talk about who the top players are right now really quickly. So this is just gonna be a short video. Yeah, so let's get started. Here we go. So introduction, the Philippines has around 25 to 30 players that are currently active. I made this video to celebrate the top 15 players of the country. Disclaimer, this is just my opinion. Please don't get offended if you aren't on the list or in the list. Also, one more thing, there's some construction going on outside, so there's gonna be some background noise. So please just ignore that. Sorry for the background noise. Okay, honorable mentions. So these players, honestly, these three, I wasn't sure if I wanted to put them as rank 15. I feel like they're all tied for 15th. Plus the person I put on 15th. So I think there's a 4-way tie. I just haven't played these players as much recently. And the person I did put at 15th, I've been playing more and more. And he's been getting better. So I think that I just give him the spot. These guys, I haven't seen them play in a while. They don't play as often, so that's why I didn't give them the spot. But any of these guys could have been ranked 15, honestly. I just so happened to choose the person I did choose. So, the first person on the honorable mentions list is Hawk. Hawk is the only Samus player in the Philippines, or Samus main in the Philippines, and he kind of bops all the new inexperienced Spaceys, which is pretty good. We need someone like that who just bops Spaceys, you know? Gotta deter that Spacey hype, or whatever, Spacey train from happening. No textual drive, avid D&D player who also engages in graphic design and egg throwing. So that's no text. He's the only Yoshi player in the Philippines, as far as I know, at least. Sweets, he loves to upbeat cancel. He does it all the time. He's kind of a show off. I play dog sometimes too, and I can't do it, so I get a bit jealous when he does it. And he's actually a dentist in real life, or he's becoming a dentist in real life. So, yeah, very appropriate character. Anyway, the way I'm going to do this tier list, before I get into number 15 and the rest of the ranking, I want to mention that I'm doing this in tiers. Did I say tier list? I think I said tier list. So I'm doing this in tiers. I'm making the ranking, it's not a ranking, it's just my opinion, but I'm putting it in tiers. So there'll be an S, A, B, C, D tier. Okay, so yeah. So rank 15, 14, and 13 goes to Hex, BB Nick, and Agril. So I think this is D tier. So Hex is the oldest player in the community in terms of age, not in terms of time playing the game. He's thinking about playing Falco, but I don't really know if he's gonna do it. And he's a Marth main. So yeah, that's Hex. BB Nick. He doesn't even play the game too often, but he still makes the cut because I don't know. We've been playing this game since BB Nick's my brother, and we've been playing this game since we were kids. So, you know, maybe he's just used to the game, I guess. And even though he doesn't play and he's kind of a casual, he's still pretty decent, you know. Agril, he's the winner of the Arcadian. He's the first winner of the first Arcadian. Well, he's the first winner of the Arcadians that we've had, because we've only had one Arcadian. And Agril, he's a real threat to new players because obviously he won that Arcadian. So yeah, there's a couple things he can still improve on, of course, to get better, or like, you know, a number of things. But we'll see how he plays in the next couple of months, how he does in tournaments, if he even enters them. He entered the Philippine League, which is like a really big tournament we're having here. So yeah, let's see how he does there, and then we'll see what tier he ends up in at the end of the year. C tier. So I only have 2 players in C tier, and that is Sien and Porcupine. Sien is an up-and-coming Fox player who's aiming to make the PR. He has like bursts of improvement. He doesn't play that often, but when he does play, people notice like a lot of improvement pretty quickly. And then Porcupine at rank 11, he's probably the fastest improving player currently. He plays the most out of all the new players. And he's the one making the biggest strides in tournaments. He's taken some PR players' names already. So he's taken Roya down. He's taken ISD down. And yeah, he's been doing pretty good recently. He's been doing pretty good recently. So yeah, that's Porcupine 21. Shen's a fox, Porcupine's a sheik. You're gonna see lots of foxes and sheik on this PR. We already saw 3 sheiks. Get ready for more. Let's see. B tier. B tier is Lately and Delta. So I haven't seen Lately play in a while because he doesn't really come online anymore. He still plays unranked from what I know, but he hasn't entered any tournaments either. He's a super tech skill monster. He's the most consistent JC Shining Fox. Like, he does it all the time. I saw him beat someone just by JC Shining them. Like, he beat a Falco just by JC Shining them. I saw it on his stream. Delta, he's the only Puff main to make the PR in the last 2 years since Dr. Patrick was here. So Dr. Patrick was the last Puff in 2019, and he made he was at the very end of the PR, like the final player of the PR, like ranked 9, I think, out of 9. And Delta is also ranked 9, but I mean, the players nowadays compared to 2 years ago, they're much better. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Like, Delta's probably a better Puff than Dr. Patrick, but I would love Dr. Patrick to play again. It would be really cool to have more Puffs, but he doesn't really play, so rip. A tier. We got 4 people in A tier. We got Roya. Oh, I dropped my phone. So we got Roya, Machu Achu, Ice D, and Johnny69. Ooh, I swapped Machu Achu's and Johnny69's colors. Machu Achu should be green and Johnny should be neutral. Might be. So Roya is a rollback kid. He's never played on CRT, so I actually wonder how much better he'd be on CRT playing this low tier character, Falcon. Machu Achu, he has a really good punish game. He's really good at tech chasing, me in particular. I don't know about other players, but he tech chases me really well. Ice D, I think he's the most well-rounded Falco. Like, he's got a decent punish and a decent neutral. Decent shield pressure, decent recovery. Like, he doesn't have big weaknesses compared to the others, or big gaps in his play. I'd say, sometimes Machu's, for example, Machu, sometimes his play is a bit his recovery is always linear, or his neutral also, he doesn't laser much, and I feel like that kind of hinders him sometimes in some matchups. ISD doesn't have that issue. I feel like he can play against more matchups more solidly than the other Falcos. Johnny69, I think Johnny69 is the best Falco right now. That's my opinion. But these guys are all really close, and I think yeah, these guys are all really close. The only player here to take 2 sets off Yetis Don't Exist, me, in tournament is Johnny69, and he did it pretty convincingly. I think he 3-0'd me the first time, and then he 3-2'd me the second time. So yeah, Johnny69 I think he's gonna be one of the better players, especially if he keeps grinding and adding more tech to his game. At the moment, he doesn't ledge dash. He's one of the only players in the PR who doesn't ledge dash on a character that should be ledge dashing. But yeah, and he has a few other big flaws in his play, but he's very solid, and he's very patient and neutral. He plays in a way that kind of aims to tilt your enemy, which is, I think, really good. Obviously, if the enemy has a strong mental game and strong anti-tilt game, then Johnny might have trouble. But in some cases, when the enemy gets tilted, it's it's over before the game even starts, you know. After the first game, it's already over. Anyway, let's move on to S tier. S tier, we got Machina at 4, Zack Attack at 3, Taxmaster at 2, and Yetis Don't Exist at 1. So let's start with Machina. Okay, so some people might think that Machina should be at 3 and Zack Attack should be at 4, but hear me out, okay? I think Machina is really good at dominating or gatekeeping all the players below him. He can 3-0 everyone below him. He can even 3-0 Zack Attack, for example. So in the head-to-head, I think Machina would probably win against Zack Attack. But the thing with Zack Attack is he's able to beat... He can lose to players below him or players of the same skill level, right? But people above him, like me and Tax on this list, he's already beaten us in tournament. He's the only player to have beaten me and Tax in tournament as well. So that's why I think Zack is higher ranked for now. Obviously, it's super close between these 4 players. I'm not saying like there's a big gap between Zach and Tax and me, or like Machina and Zach. I think they're all really close. I just would order them this way right now. So let's read the descriptions. Machina's plays. It should say Machina plays. Machina plays a number of characters proficiently. Try playing versus his Roy. Yeah, I've lost a game to his Roy, and he will never stop talking about it. Well, he doesn't talk about it a lot. It's just he won't ever forget it. That's the thing. He won't ever forget it. So if ever I need to be reminded about his Roy, he'll remind me that his Roy beat my Fox, or I'll remember it somehow. Zack Attack, another rollback kid. God, these guys are good. Zack Attack won the first tournament of 2022. Yeah, he did. And he won it pretty convincingly. I mean, the grand finals was pretty close, but the way he beat me was pretty convincingly. And I think Zack Attack has a really good like style of Fox. He's very like patient with Fox in neutral, and then his punish is really strong, and his tech chasing is pretty good as well. So I think Zack Attack can be one of the best players in the Philippines easily, maybe the best. Depends on how the tournaments go in the next few months. Next is a Taxmaster. Tax is the best Sheik in the Philippines. There's like 5 Sheiks on this list. Tax is the best one. He's well rounded at all things Sheik. He's good at like edge guarding. He's good at needling. He's good at like playing neutral. He has like a solid game plan against Fox, at least from what I can tell in my friendlies and tournament sessions with him. He can adapt as well. That's how I think his adaptation is, or his adaptation. I don't know the word. The way he adapts, he can beat people in best of 5s pretty easily. Like especially people who are close to his skill level, because he knows what to change up during the set to turn that L into a W. He reverse 3-0'd me in the last tournament, so rip me and good job, Tax. And finally, I'm putting myself at 1 because, well, I usually win most of the tournaments, but I have started to lose lately. So I feel like if I lose the next tournament, then I'm probably dropping from rank 1. If Tax or Zach take the next tournament, I'm probably dropping from rank 1. Or if I lose to Zach or Tax again, especially in the next tournament, then I will also drop from rank 1. That's how I view it right now. Some people may already question me being at number 1 because I have started losing to a lot of people. And this is the first time in like 2 years where I've started losing to people like back-to-back in tourneys that I've entered. Like Filipino players at least. Which is good. That means the scene's getting better and we're all improving. That means I need to catch up too. My description is that I use standing laser a lot. I miss input short hop double laser all the time. I get the first short hop double laser and then I press jump too early so it doesn't read my jump input. And then I do double laser on the ground. And that's how I get standing laser all the time. I'm sure no one really cared about that or cares about how I get standing laser, but yeah, that's how I standing laser all the time, because I press jump too early, I think. Anyway, that's the list. Top 15 plus 3 honorable mentions. I know there's not that many players in the Philippines, so we actually just covered like most of the players in the Philippines. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something about the Philippine scene, because we're not really a great scene like in terms of skill, but we're like the biggest scene in Southeast Asia and probably the best scene in Southeast Asia. And I think we're all trying to improve and get better. Everyone improves at their own rate, which is great. Well, not great, but it's like, as long as everyone's improving, I'm happy with the scene, because I want our scene to become better. You know, we're probably just like average elsewhere in the world, or like in the States. Maybe even slightly below or slightly above average, depending on which player you're talking about. But I think we have potential, and that's all I care about. I just want the scene to get better. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thank you for listening. Fire Emblem's playing right now. This is a dope song. But that's it, and thanks for watching. I'm gonna be making a Slippy, what's it called? Not Slippy, a Asia's Hidden Bosses video soon on Steel Rhydon, a player from the Middle East. So once I get my Adobe Premiere working again, because I just reformatted my PC, or like, you know, whatever it's called, deleted everything on my PC and then reinstalled it again. Then I'm gonna do that video, but it's gonna take a few days or maybe 1 week probably. So stay tuned for that. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I'm back making a bit more content. Hopefully this stuff is interesting and fun. Thanks guys, see you next time.